As the Indian Air Force has received the first batch of 5 Rafale fighter jets from France, the Indian defence establishment has started to discuss the need for 36 more Rafale fighter jets, as the Air Force has already invested in the country-specific enhancements and infrastructure to support additional fighters. France has already made an offer for additional 36 aircraft, which will cost less than €6 billion, along with major offsets work for the Indian defence industry. The Indian Air Force has around 90 MiG-29 Su-30 fighters and 45 Mirage 2000, and even if the Rafale brings a whole new suite of advanced 4.5 generation technologies to take India's air combat capability to an entirely different level, but the 36 Rafale is not dominant in numbers, and this might be changed with follow-on orders after the completion of the first order for 36 aircraft by the end of 2021. A number of defense experts have also suggested to scrap the $20 billion deal for 114 MMRCA fighters, and put the limited resources on the alternative indigenous fighter programs like the Orca fighter jet and the most critical AMCA 5th generation fighter jet. After the first Rafale squadron known as 17 Golden Arrows received the first 5 Rafale fighters yesterday at the Ambala Air Base, the Indian Air Force and the Defence Ministry have asked the French government and Dassault Aviation to deliver 5 more Rafale fighter jets by October, which will be part of the second Rafale squadron, which are popularly known as the Falcons, and are stationed at the Hasamara Air Base in West Bengal, which is the closest Indian air base to the strategic Chambi Valley. The construction of the second aircraft carrier INS Vikrant is on track, as the Cochin Shipyard Limited did not take a break during the lockdown, and the carrier is set to join the Indian Navy in 2021 and become fully operational by 2022. Meanwhile, other shipyards like Mazagan Dock shipbuilders that are executing orders for P-75 submarines and P-15B destroyers have lagged behind by 6 months, as more than half of the workers could not turn up for work, and also due to the breakdown of the suppliers' network. Japan has released a Defense White Paper 2020, and Japan has mentioned India in the context of defense cooperation and exchanges under the 2+2 dialogue. Japanese industry is opening up to joint defense manufacturing, and in the next round of India-Japan summit, both the countries will discuss cooperation on manufacturing armored vehicles, and Mitsubishi have already applied for the FICV and FRCV programs of India, and the next generation of artificial intelligence-induced chips could also be developed and deployed by both India and Japan. At a time when the US, Japan, India and Australia are strengthening the Quad group, a desperate, frustrated and isolated China is trying hard to forge a Quad group, under which China has urged Afghanistan, Nepal and Pakistan for a 4-party cooperation. The Chinese foreign minister held the first ever joint virtual meet with his counterparts from these 3 other countries, and has asked Afghanistan and Nepal to be more like Pakistan, and fast-track the work on the Belt and Road Initiative programs. As the central law has been extended to the Union Territory of J&K, the Indian Armed Forces will no longer need the No Objection Certificate from its Home Department for acquisition of land. This also provides special dispensation for carrying out construction activities in strategic areas by the armed forces. After the release of second draft of the Defence Acquisition Procedure 2020, the Indian Ministry of Defence is preparing the negative list of defence equipments that will be banned for imports, as they can be made locally in the country. The Indian defence industry have welcomed the move, which will be a big boost for Indian micro, small and medium enterprises, as separate budgetary provisions will be made for procuring only Indian-made defence equipments.